Welcome to this edition of INN CEO Talks. Joining me now is Alexandra Woodyer-Sharon of Empress Resources, which trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol EMPR. Alexandra, thank you for joining me. You have such an interesting and unique position in the marketplace. I think that the fact that you're a new company speaks to the fact that you're also really moving into a new sector in the investment market. Why don't we tell viewers a little bit about Empress and start with the history of the company and what is the unique proposition that you're offering?
Absolutely. Thank you, Stuart. This is where Empress Royalty is a new precious metals royalty and streaming creation company. As you mentioned, we just listed on the TSXV in December, and we currently have a portfolio of 14 gold royalties, and we're looking to expand that portfolio out. We're looking at a lot of different investment opportunities. Our pipeline has roughly $50 million worth of investments that we're examining at the moment. And yeah, we've got a lot of exciting stuff ahead of us.
Okay, 14 different properties. Explain to somebody what a streaming royalty proposition looks like, because for a lot of people, they're going to go, okay, exactly how does that work and why is it a benefit to me as an investor and for you and your company?
Absolutely. So we do royalties and streams. So a royalty is when we invest in a company, and in return for that investment, we get a percentage of the profit from the mine in the future. Where a stream is similar, we invest in a company, but then we get a percentage of the gold or silver at a discounted price. And by this investment we're putting into the company, we're able to either help them get into production, or we're able to help them expand on what they're already doing. So from our point of view, we're able to then get revenue in from these investments, which we can then eventually establish a dividend policy and pay our shareholders. So yeah, it's a neat way of investing in it in the mining sector. We're purely gold and silver focused, and yeah, it's about having these opportunities and deploying the capital into these investments for us.
So maybe you can talk a little bit about how this speeds up the time between investment and then return on that investment. So often in the resource sector, we see, okay, I'm going to invest into this property, which is going to lead to drilling. We're going to wait for those results. We'll raise more money to go to drilling. And then are we going to vend into a major that might take us over? Or are we going to grow into being an operating company? You bypass all of that and literally go to revenue almost right away. Explain how that works.
Yeah, we're focused on near-term production companies or companies that are already in production. So by that, we're hoping that with our investments, we're getting returns on the investments within 12 months. So it's just helping them go to that final hurdle, again, to get into production or expand upon what they're already doing.
What's the benefit to that company to have you even what's the right word? Because you're not directly investing in them in the sense that you're diluting their stock, but you're creating an opportunity for them to be able to, I guess, leverage what they have, continue to grow, but then provide a benefit back to you. So what's the benefit to the company that you're working out the royalty stream with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a non-dilutive way of them accessing capital. So they're not diluting their shareholders further when they're doing this, because we are quite nimble on the creation side, and that's where our expertise with my strategic partners is in the investment banking side. So we're able to structure around what the company has. In some cases, it makes sense for them to take on a royalty. In other cases, it makes more sense for a stream, and we're able to really structure around what their financing needs are and what are the financing components are coming together at the same time, whether it's a debt facility or some other kind of equity raise. We're able to work with the company to find a solution that works for them and gives us the returns that we need.
So how do you go about determining what the relationship is going to be with that company? Because you can position it in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, we really get into the companies that we're looking to invest in are either known to us or known to our strategic partners. So we have a good understanding of the company. We'll look closely at the projects they have, the current structure they have, and then work out what the best solution it is. I mean, I'm supported by Endeavour Financial out of London and Terra Capital Australia, Ascendo Banco in Mexico. If you just look at the relationship with Endeavour Financial, I've got access to all their investment bankers, their cash flow modelers, financial analysts, engineers, and geologists. So we're really able to structure and work with the company to find the right solution for them, so that they're able to get the capital they need.
So you talk about 14 different properties or companies that you have relationships with. Where are you at in sort of the structure of that? Not all of them are completed deals, are they? Or are you already in a position where you're starting to consolidate those relationships? I ask that because you're still a relatively new company.
Yeah, no, to clarify that further, so we have a current portfolio of 14 royalties. 13 of those are actually gold exploration projects in Canada, which we acquired through our spin out of Big Ridge Gold. The one that we recently acquired was Candelaria's Pinos project in Mexico, where we did a $1.5 million investment for a 1% royalty on that project. And that should be in production in Q1 2022. And then now we're focused on building out the rest of our portfolio and deploying our capital into investments. We've got one we're looking at in Mozambique, another one we're looking at Mexico that we've got exclusivity on, and then we've got other ones that we're negotiating term sheets on, and those investments are all gold and silver. Most of those are companies that are in production, and they'll be near-term cash producing, already cash producing, and we're looking globally at those potential investments, and that's about $50 million worth of deals that are currently in our pipeline, that we hope to move forward and through the process.
Normally when you're looking at a resource investment, you're looking at what is the history and what are the credentials of the mining and geological team that are behind that. But as far as taking a look at what the resources are within your company, what is the expertise that you're bringing to the equation that as an investor you go, that's what I'm buying?
You're bringing with Empress, we have a very strong mining finance team. So again, the partners I've mentioned, all very much experts in mining finance. We have a global relationships. We know how to work in mining friendly jurisdictions and how to structure deals around that. So it really is the team here, and that brings in the deal flow. That brings in like the opportunities. We're able to quickly review them, analyze them, dissect what we can do with them, and then come up with hopefully, which is a beneficial solution for the mining partner as well as for ourselves.
So I imagine that one of the key components in this are your analytical skills, that you bring a depth of experience that you're able to look at a potential opportunity and quickly determine whether or not this is of value. Tell me a little bit about your team.
My team. So my background is I'm ex-PricewaterhouseCoopers. I was started as an analyst at Endeavour Financial, became director of structured finance, and opened the London office for 10 years. I work closely with Endeavour Financial. David Rhodes, who's the managing director of Endeavour Financial, is also our executive chairman and the chair of our investment committee. So as I mentioned, we've got access to their whole team. We work closely with them and look at these opportunities. We also have a strategic partnership with Terra Capital out of Australia, run by Jeremy Bond, who's one of our directors. They're a boutique natural resource fund, one of the leading ones in Australia. So that gives us access to Australian opportunities in terms of investments, but also Australian companies with international projects. Jeremy's been an active investor in the Canadian mining sector for a long time now, so that gives us quite a bit of knowledge on that side. And then we signed a strategic alliance with Ascendo Banco in Mexico in August, and that gives us exclusive access to all the royalty and streaming opportunities they see.
Wow. So it's that collective experience that you and your team members bring to the equation that I guess made your initial offering so attractive. Tell us a little bit about that, because I read that you oversubscribed and quickly back in the fall.
Yeah, we went out to raise some initial capital to deploy in the first investments we looked at. We went out to raise 5. We ended up closing it at 8. It was a fantastic response in the market. We were able to attract some really good further institutions into that financing. So we currently stand with 55% of the company is owned by our strategic partners, management and board, and 20% by institutional investors. And those are generally mining specific funds across Canada, Europe, Russia, Asia, Australia. So we've got a really good international group of supporters and institutions behind us.
So as a potential investor who might be watching this, they're going, okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm interested. Where are you going to from here? What do the next 6 months look like?
So we're really focused on building this pipeline out. Again, we've made our first initial investment. We're hoping to follow that soon with some more investments and build the pipeline out. So you'll be seeing us repeat the model where we're able to deploy capital into getting these mines into production or helping these companies expand what they're already doing. And then just continue to build the portfolio and giving a good diversified portfolio between gold and silver and global projects.
I can't quite get away from, in my own thinking, the speed with which you can react, because you're not going through the regulatory and approval process with projects. You're, in essence, scanning the global gold and silver market, saying this looks like a good opportunity. You can quickly discern whether or not you should stay there or move on. How important is it to be able to have that kind of agility?
I think absolutely. It's incredibly important. We're able to react quickly in terms of just again knowing the market, knowing the countries that we're getting potentially involved with. We've got a really aggressive team, so we're able to really fast track things. A great example of that is with the Sendo Banco relationship in Mexico. We were able to pick, some of the deals we're looking at. They're providing a debt facility. We're coming along with the equity portion in terms of a royalty or stream. So we're able to fast track the due diligence. Get our own independent groups to look at it, obviously third party groups, but we're able to really piggyback on some of that and act quickly.
Mm-hmm. So at the moment, if I'm saying, okay, I want to get involved, what's the advantage to me of getting involved now versus then taking a wait and see approach? Because these are the people that we're talking to right now. They're going, okay, you look interesting, but why? Why now? Why should I, get involved with your company?
We're a growth story. So this is just the very beginning for us. We've just started trading. We're just starting to build our portfolio out, and we plan on replicating this model over and over again and getting into a point where we're bringing revenue into the company and then paying our shareholders. So this is a long-term, very disciplined financial growth strategy that we've put together here at Empress with our partners.
Well, and not to mention that there is no end in sight to opportunities that will keep coming. It's not as though you're developing a mine site and then you're going to, at some point, see that expire. You just move on to the next opportunity. It looks like, it gives you a great flexibility, allows you to support good projects and to provide a good return to shareholders.
Absolutely. And in that, supporting great mining partners too. A lot of the mining companies is about the management team, and we're lucky that we do have a great network with that to work alongside some great mining companies.
Well, you bring up an interesting point there, because as an individual investor, I may not have the depth of experience to take a look at a particular company and the team that they have, but you do, and so you're able to do that analytical work for me.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it. Thanks, Stuart.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm selling it, but
I
I
know.
think that but I think that this is the essence. Like, how do we as individual investors, in particular, be able to make those kinds of assessments that you can, because you bring a team approach to it with a depth of experience, and
Yeah,
you're saying to me, I'm going to give you the opportunity to participate in the work that we do.
exactly. That's exactly it. With our combined board and management experiences over 250 years, and the team's completed over $6 billion of mining finance deals. So, very strong, experienced team here, and looking at opportunities that we feel make sense based upon the experience.
Okay, so you have to promise me that you're going to come back to us in 4, 5, 6 months from now and give us an update and tell us some of the other projects that are exciting that you're working on, that you're exploring, and continue to look at future opportunities. I hope that we can have you back on the show again.
I would love to come back again, and be very excited to share our next couple investments that we'll be making.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Stuart.